Hey everyone, welcome back to Growing with the Rileys. We're Trevin and Kaylee.
We are a family of 6 here in Southwest Missouri working to homestead our just under half acre here in town. So we're just working to learn some new skills in growing our own food, raising animals, cooking from scratch, and kind of everything in between.
All right everyone, it is week 6 of our 22-week challenge here, where we are challenging ourselves what we can grow in our own backyard. Along with that, we want to see how to eat it, how to prepare it, and
How to preserve it even.
exactly. So with that being said, we want to share 6 things with you that we've learned thus far. All right everyone, we're going to kind of start out again what it is we've been planting, harvesting, and preparing.
So what have we planted?
What have we planted? Nothing this week.
We have lots of plans.
Spoiler alert, that's actually one of the things we're going to be talking in one of the 6 things we've learned these last 6 weeks.
We do have lots of plans to get a lot in the ground next week though, so.
Yes.
So what have we harvested? We have a huge haul of carrots and beets. So we pulled a bed of carrots and a bed of beets.
Yeah, carrots are one of our favorite things that we grow.
Probably second to the watermelon.
Yes. One, they're just fun to pull out of the ground.
They are.
And
they taste really good.
There's nothing compared to what you buy in the store is not comparable to what you can pull out of your backyard.
Yeah. But overall, I think our best carrot haul so far. And then we have lots of beets, a lot of beets.
And we actually have more to be pulling, and these things are massive this year.
They are big. So we're learning how to eat those. We've been putting some of the greens in smoothies. We've fried and kind of roasted some, and we have sold some to some friends because we have a lot of beets.
Yep. I think though, this week we've had a salad almost every day, whether it been our romaine or our butterhead or thrown in some kale. So we've been doing that pretty well.
So we've been harvesting those, and we still have more so pretty much every day we can come out and we can get 1 or 2 of those greens. So that's been really fun. And then we actually are getting lots of snap peas. So we had enough just to have as a side with lunch. Our kids just love to eat them raw. And then we added it. We had our own carrots and our own snap peas and a stir fry we made this week. That was really fun and yummy, and our eggs were in it. We got our first shell peas. So really excited about those. Like, I didn't think that I liked peas. I really like peas. So it was just a small amount. Joe ate probably half of them as we were shelling them. But it's definitely something that we love and we'll grow more of next year for sure.
It's kind of a new thing. We haven't showed you any of these in our tours. Don't know why. We've got 9 blackberry bushes along the house, and
we've got to pick 4. I think
we picked 4.
4 berries. They were very yummy.
Yes.
We're forgetting because they're on the side of the house.
They're on a side of the house that we have a fence that separates the garden from that side of the house, and so the only way to get there is we have to go all the way around the house just to get there, or if I use my crazy athletic skills, I can jump over the fence. All right, so at the beginning of this video, I had mentioned there were 6 things we wanted to share with you that we've been learning along this journey.
All right, so the first thing that we have learned is what we are liking and not liking that we're growing.
Simple as that.
So I don't think there's anything we just straight don't like. We are learning what we want, how much we want of things too. So for instance, we love carrots. Having this carrot harvest, we need to grow more carrots. More peas, so more snap peas and shell peas, that's on our list. We love those. Our kids love those. So anytime we find something that our kids really like, we're gonna grow more of it next year. Beets and turnips. So we like beets and turnips, not as much as we like some of the other things in our garden. I think we will cut back probably by half or more how many beets we grew and how many turnips we grew this year. And then the other thing is Swiss chard. So we like the Swiss chard, but with the amount of other greens we have coming in at the same time, they're gonna always grow at the same time as our kale, as our arugula.
And the beet greens are basically the same thing as the Swiss chard.
Yeah, I actually think I like the beet greens a little bit more than I like the Swiss chard, like when we're sauteing it with our eggs and stuff. So I think Swiss chard would be one that we do much less of, or maybe even cut out entirely next year.
Number 2, you know, if you've been following us at all, you know we like to trellis things. So there are some trellises we just need to beef up and make stronger. The one that we're talking about mainly right now is for our peas. We do have a video that we have a short that we made, how we made our pea trellises. It works. It could be way better.
Yeah, so we use flower netting to actually be with the peas grow up, and we probably need a true fence of some kind or something sturdier.
And honestly, just getting things ready, getting more trellises ready. I'm one that likes to just start something and catch up to the madness at times. We've got tomatillos that need to be trellised, or at least have something up there to support them. Number 3, planning. So we're learning how to plan. Plan what to plant, plan how much to plant, plan
What goes in after that?
what goes in after it's harvested, all that stuff. There's a lot, and it can be super overwhelming. So we're just trying to learn and figure out the best way to go about it. It may be us now learning these are the days we're going to plant, and we're going to plant these 5 things.
Yeah. So maybe having like a
Just
set
breaking
days,
it down.
even set days of the week, like that we know that our, for example, like Monday, Wednesday is planting days, so that it's just there already, and so we're more apt and ready to go ahead and do that.
Just getting a better game plan. I think I had a plan. We'll put it that way. I had a plan. We both didn't have a plan together.
Yeah.
I think if you're going to be doing this together, it is imperative, especially husband and wife, like, be on the same page. I know how my brain works. My schedule, being full-time,
Out
of the home, not being home, I've got to come to realization what I can and can't do. So one of the things we like to do now is in the mornings, which we love our mornings here,
We do love our mornings.
is we water and feed the chickens and the rabbits, and we water the garden. We'll walk around each spot in each location, and Kaylee will just ask, what should we plant here? And if they have time, they're busy too. They're busy homeschooling. They've got stuff going on as well. And so it's just learning to find that balance. But it's us saying, how about we put this in the ground, and let's plant this, and let's plant that. And if they get to it, they get to it. And if not, we still have the next day. It's fine.
Yeah, but having some sort of plan does help, and then I feel like having that plan does make it easier to be more flexible when you can't do it. You know at least what was supposed to be done and how to move it around. So we're learning that.
Exactly.
All right, so number 4, we are learning how to manage what we harvest. So this kind of comes in a couple different ways. So once it gets pulled from the ground, you have to deal with it. So one of the things that means for us, like, you gotta wash it. If the greens need removed, the greens have to, there's steps to it. One thing we're doing right now is we homeschool all year round. So we kind of try to do a 6-week on, 1 week off kind of plan. There's a lot of flexibility with it. So for this quarter, or this 6 weeks, especially coming into spring, into summer, we go a lot lighter with our school. So our morning routine at home is much more relaxed and a little bit easier, which gives me time to be out longer in the morning to deal with some of the stuff. Like when we pulled the beets and the carrots, like that took quite a bit of time to rinse, and we don't do that inside the house because our kitchen's not big enough to do that. So we rinse out here in the yard, and so it's been a really nice change of pace for us. But being flexible with our homeschooling helps us to be able to manage the harvest a little bit. So that's one way that we're learning how to manage it. The other is just trying to get creative in how we use it, and learning how things store. Like beets and carrots actually store pretty well in your refrigerator. So those are things that I don't always have to deal with like immediately, and so that's good. But it is learning. It's learning new recipes. learning creative ways to use things. Like this week we'll be trying a couple different things to use up some of our kale, use up some of our beets. And so that's just always probably going to be a learning curve as we figure out how to cook, how to preserve, how to store what we do. But when it's your own garden, when it's ready, you have to be ready to deal with it. And so we've had to change our schedule a little bit to help accommodate for that. So
Number 5, this one hits me hard. Deal with the imperfections. It's okay.
Overlook the imperfections.
So we need to overlook the imperfections. We have crabgrass in our walkways. We have
Carrots that bolted and you couldn't eat them.
We have a greenhouse that we still don't know how to fully grow in yet. Things get very wilted in there.
Some of our lettuce didn't even come up.
Yeah, we planted lettuce, didn't come up. There's just things that you expect to work out perfectly, and it doesn't. So we're learning how to deal with the things that don't work out the way you want them to.
And to keep moving forward, even though, not to let it discourage or hinder you from moving forward.
Yeah, and I can get very, very paralyzed in that. And I don't know if there's anyone out there that relates with me. I think there would be. That when one thing doesn't go right, it doesn't mean everything's wrong.
Yeah.
Just remember that. That's something Kaylee's constantly remind me of. I have friends that constantly remind me of that. What's true?
Move forward.
Move forward. It's gonna be fine.
Right, so number 6, you're learning we have to find a balance between working and resting.
Mm-hmm.
And this is a hard one. This is the one that hits home. So this past week we've really just tried one, like I talked about with managing the harvest, learning how to tailor even our homeschool, taking a more relaxed approach, enjoyable approach. We all needed that.
So again, since I work full time, I come home around 5:30 and we got to eat, and then it's we got to get outside and get a project done. This week we said we didn't really do a project. I think we did a couple.
Yeah, we did a handful.
We went on a bike ride. We just took the kids on a bike ride. Our kids have been insanely patient.
Yeah, I think we have had large projects or work days every weekend and throughout the week since January.
Yeah.
Since really just the start of all the growing season and planning. So we've been going pretty hard.
It's almost as if we work to try to not ever work again. That's just not going to happen. There's always going to be projects. There's always going to be things to do. It's how well you manage it is what we're trying to grasp and learn now. These are the 6 things we are learning so far on this journey. And we just want to know too, what is it that you guys are learning in your guys' garden journeys or homesteading journeys? What are you learning, or what have you learned? Give us some wisdom on what we need to be ready for and looking out for as well. So we want to hear from you. Again, we just also want to thank you for taking the time listening in today, tuning in. And we would again hope that if you like this, please like and subscribe and hit those notifications so that when a new video does come out, you'll be notified.
We're excited for this next week. So more things to harvest, more things to learn how to cook. I have some new recipes that I'm wanting to try.
Kind of have a fun surprise for you next week. Stay tuned.
So,
see ya.